This Sunday's gospel reading is the passage that precedes the gospel passage that I just read to you. So this Sunday's gospel is going to start with the disciples of John the Baptist. John the Baptist is in prison at this part of the gospel. And his disciples go to Jesus. They ask him, "Are you the one who is to come, or should we look for another?" And Jesus says, "Well, go tell John that the blind have regained their sight, the deaf hear, the lepers are cleansed, the dead are raised, so forth and so forth." And so now Jesus, after saying those things, go tell John, this is what's happening, as a sign that, he is the one. Okay, you don't have to look for another. Now Jesus turns his attention to the crowd and kind of offers a little, maybe a little critique as to the current situation, that he's facing. So as he addresses the crowd, he says, what should I compare this generation to? What are they like? And then he gives kind of like maybe a little song that the kids would have done, or a little game that they would play. It's like children who sit in marketplaces and they say, "Well, we played the flute for you. You didn't dance." Or we sang a dirge or a lamentation, some sort of song of mourning, and you did not mourn. There's kind of like this spiritual complacency that Jesus seems to be observant amongst the crowds. One of the issues he struggles with, that he's battling with the crowd, as he performs these signs, the crowd is so enamored with the signs, it's almost like to them like a magic show or an illusion trick. Do some more of those neat things for us, Jesus. Here are some more sick people, cure them. Jesus is almost like to a lot of these people, almost like an entertainment act. Give us some more bread, multiply the loaves and fishes for us. People at weddings do this to me all the time, usually after they have a couple of glasses of wine, and they hold up a glass of water, and like, "Father, can you change this water into wine?" I'm like, "No, get away from me," No, okay, I'm not that severe, but the spiritual complacency, the hearts aren't enlivened. Jesus gives us, between John the Baptist and himself, gives us really the two ways of the spiritual life. The first way, that of John the Baptist, what we're kind of experiencing now in Advent and also in the season of Lent, that of penance, sacrifice. That's kind of compared to, again, playing a dirge, but you didn't mourn. They say, well, John came doing penance. He wasn't eating, he wasn't drinking, he was fasting, doing works of penance, and you said he was crazy. He's possessed by a demon. And then he says the Son of Man comes, he's eating and drinking, which again is the other part of the spiritual life, the feasting. That's also part of the faith. Our life is not just all penance all the time. There's moments throughout even our liturgical year as we hit Christmas and Easter, times where we feast. Even at Easter we bring in our baskets of Easter food that we're going to eat, later on or the next day, and we get it blessed. The idea of enjoying the bountiful works of God, what God has given us. But anyways, he says the Son of Man is doing these things, and you say he's a glutton, he's a drunkard. Which is it? Spiritual complacency. This is all about both penance and feasting. It's all about living in that covenant. God is a father. He wants us, first and foremost, as his beloved sons and daughters, to serve him as a beloved child would serve their mom and dad. How they would be ready for them, to help them, ideally. That's what he expects from us. And then at the same time, he wants to be the father that provides for us and provides everything. A good father that constantly wants to provide for the needs of his children. This is what our Lord is looking for here. So whether it's feasting, or acts of penance, whether it's a God that's going to provide the feast as a beloved father, or has a child that is going to perform sacrifices and works to serve the Father, this is all the work of the covenant. This is what our Lord wants us to enter into. This is discipleship. May our hearts, as we continue through Advent season, be enlivened by that covenant and live as his beloved sons and daughters, but also then to also let our Father live and serve for us. May God bless you.